Hi guys, I am super excited about this video, and I'm actually wearing some of my wedding jewelry in this video. Anyway, so I created this halo rose gold eyeshadow look, and let's just get straight into it. So I've already primed my face using the Benefit Porefessional primer, and then for foundation I'm going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation in the shade 4.0. This was my first time using this foundation, so I thought, why don't we add some Fast Styling Rose Gold Elixir drops to dilute it a little bit and sheer it out. But no, when I put it on my face it was still so super full coverage, so I just went in with a Real Technique sponge and just pressed it into the skin. It made it sit a lot better. By the way, please excuse my pink hands. I actually just coloured my hair, so that's just pink hair dye. And you might see some stains on my cheek as well, but I'll just cover them up. George! Nice to see that George the Unicorn is back. I'm just going to take some tape from George. Thank you, George. You were very missed. And I'm going to apply that onto the corner of my eye so that I can give my eyeshadow a sharp edge. This is why I was super excited for this video, because I got to use the Huda Beauty Textured Eyeshadow Palette in Rose Gold. Because this was my first time using this palette, I was a little bit nervous to pick up too much pigment on my brush, so I just kind of slowly, gradually built it up. But first I went in with the shade Shy, and I just put that into my crease as my transition shade very, very lightly on my Zoeva 228 brush. Next, I'm just starting to build up my halo shape, so I took the shade Man Eater on my Zoeva 231 brush, and I'm just applying this and buffing this in round circular motions onto the outer corner, and gradually building it up so that we can have a really, really nice blend. Taking the same shade, I'm just buffing this onto the inner corner, just as I did on the outer corner. I'm just rounding it off, putting it slightly into the crease, and just constantly blending it so that I can get a really nice fade. Taking the same 228 Zoeva brush, I'm just buffing everything together into the crease, blending all the harsh lines out with no additional product. I want to gradually add depth and dimension to this eye look by using deeper colours as I go along, so the next shade I'm going in with is called Bossy, and I'm taking this on my Zoeva 227 brush, and I'm just blending this on top of Man Eater, focusing on bringing it slightly more into the inner lid. Doing same on the inner corner, I'm just bringing it slightly more, blending it into the lid and rounding it off just in the crease area. But remember that because this is a halo look, you want to still keep the centre of the lid quite clean. Next, taking the shade Cocoa onto my Zoeva 237 brush, I'm just going to be applying this very close to the lash line, avoiding the crease completely onto the outer corner, blending it into the tape so that you've got all that area covered. And doing exactly the same on the inner corner, just rounding it off but not taking it as high into the crease. Then I'm taking a clean blending brush and just blending those all together. Next, I'm picking up the shade Black Licorice onto my Morphe M515 brush, and I'm just deepening out the outer corner even further and the inner corner. Using all these colours is what's going to give you a really, really good fade. I'm also trying to keep this very, very close to my lash line. Now for this beautiful textured rose gold eyeshadow from the palette, I'm just going to apply this using my finger onto the centre of the lid. You can actually use any of the textured shadows from the palette. This is just what I thought looked really nice with this eyeshadow look. And then I'm just taking my Morphe brush just to blend the inner and outer corner. Now to do my wing, I'm going to remove the tape, and I'm going to go in with my Inglot Gel eyeliner in 77, which is the blackest black. And I'm using my MAC 263 brush. Where did 237 come from? finish off the face, I'm going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm just going to be blending this in using my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. To bake underneath my eyes, I'm going to be using the RCMA No Colour Powder. I really like this powder. I think it gives you a really sort of photoshopped airbrush look. And for my inner wing, I'm going in with my Sigma E06 brush, which is a tiny wing brush. I love this brush, and yeah, it's really hard to do an eyeliner on camera. Sorry. So to blend out the lower lash line, I am going to go in with the shade Shy, again on a small pencil brush, and I'm just blending that eyeliner together to create a nice gradient. I am completely in love with this eyeliner. This is the Urban Decay Razor Sharp Eyeliner in Fireball. It's gorgeous. And I just use this to do a second wing. For my brows, I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in Chocolate and my number 7 brush. The first thing that I like to do is the outer corner because I like to get that point first. Then I bring it up to my arch, and then slowly as I get less product on my brush, I like to feather out the beginning of my brow to make it look a bit more natural. When I've done that, I like to go in with my spoolie and I like to blend everything together and put my brow hairs into place, and then take a tiny bit concealer onto a flat definer brush just to carve out the edges and clean up any mistakes. So for contour, I'm using the Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and for blush, I'm using a blush from the Blush Book 2 from Tarte. I'm using the shade Quirky. For my highlighter, I'm using the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Moonlight, and I'm just applying that using my finger. Then for highlight, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop with my fan brush. To finish off the look, I've gone in using the Huda Beauty lashes in Farah, which are my favourite lashes so far. And I'm just applying those with my House of Lashes lash adhesive and my lash tweezers. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the look. If you have any requests, do let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and find me on Instagram at @makeupbyaj. And I'll see you next time. Bye!